All right, let's bite on it. That's Schefter saying, I'm not sold that the Texans are going to draft a quarterback second overall, and Breer is like seconding that emotion. 2 weeks before the draft, this whole narrative of Young and Stroud, 1-2, and then the Cardinals are going to trade out of the third spot, and it's going to be Anthony Richardson, and Will Levis is going to be there, and someone's going to push that up the draft board. By the way, Mel Kiper Jr. has Will Levis second on his draft board, above Stroud and Richardson, which I haven't seen anywhere else either. And it's, again, who's evaluating who and how. And fascinating that there's two 49er guys in the current offensive coordinator and the new head coach of the Texans who saw a quarterback drafted that high not even factor into a program and its success. But the Texans, as we all know, don't have a 49ers roster or the ability to go to a championship game now, even with the quarterback that they might draft. And Nick Caserio never drafted a quarterback, was part of the Patriots organization between, in those years between Bledsoe and Mac Jones. So the highest they drafted a quarterback was Garoppolo. Put it all together,
and they draft a lot of quarterbacks.
Put it all together, and they do have the 12th overall pick. Now, the whole business that from Cleveland because of the Deshaun Watson trade, and they have one next year too. And the whole business of, people have capital next year, they can trade up to go get Caleb Williams or Drake May. What if the first two teams on the clock are quarterback needy, which usually teams first and second on the clock are? Doesn't matter. You can have draft choices from here to kingdom come, and nobody's going to trade those slots away. Highly well-earned slots, one would say, due to 18 weeks of very difficult sledding for fans and front office and coaching staff alike. So, I think he and Schefter are onto something here. Smelling it.
And Schefter thinks it's Bryce Young going first, so
Stroud drops?
Who's going to 3 to get Stroud?
Well, I mean, maybe nobody. I don't know. Does Indianapolis just hold and they wind up with Stroud and off they go?
Could you imagine? I would be pretty surprised at that.
And then Seattle sits there and has an opportunity to take Anthony Richardson, and do they do that? And then there's Detroit at 6. What the hell do they do? But Will Anderson would be the guy that Arizona would stick and stay with, one would think, right? Where does Jalen Carter rank in people's minds? If the Texans don't take a quarterback at 2, that changes the whole dynamic of this whole shooting match.
Yep.
And where do people fall? That, honestly, is not something I have given much thought to until Schefter made me think, oh, wait a minute. And like I told you, Schefter's been right with the Texans for a long time.
But then you think about these other teams, Rich. You think at Las Vegas at 7, do they move up? Atlanta, do they move up? Tennessee, we've been seeing a lot of people talking about in their mock drafts. They move up from 11 to 3 to take somebody.
Anthony Richardson's gone from not on people's radar screens because of the way Florida finished to on everyone's radar screen because of the way he did at the Combine, way he performed at the Combine, to the conversation, could he be first overall, to now he'll drop because people don't even evaluate the quarterback group in the same way that we do. And the kids taken in the top 5 in the draft last several years with the outside, with the exception of Trevor Lawrence, are scaring people off. And they don't want to have that problem. And Richardson could drop. That wasn't the narrative 1 week ago today.
Nope.
When we were 3 weeks from the draft, and that is now a distinct possibility 2 weeks from the draft, which means we got to get more evaluators on here. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.